Hey, what's up, everyone? We are on day 9 of 30 Days of Death Shadow. We're here today. We're on day 4 of our second cycle, which means that we're working on Rakdos Shadow today. Um, Nothing's really changed in this list from last week. Still taking this list from Mr. Doom Wake. And yeah, super excited to get in a little Rakdos Shadow action. Just a little recap for anyone who's new to this channel. I'm doing a personal challenge to play 30 straight days of Death Shadow, record a league a day, upload it to my YouTube. I am not even close to being any kind of expert with this deck, but I am doing this project to try to improve myself, hold myself accountable for increasing my skills and trying to develop, better states of mind, better mental game, and also better just technical play. So I highly encourage people to leave comments in chat if you notice any mistakes, notice anything that you would have done differently. I'd always love to hear about that. I love to hear about alternate lines or different ways that we could have taken some of these games, and I very much appreciate any of the comments that I get down below. That all being said, let's kick off this league. I'm not gonna lie, feeling pretty tired today. I had a weirdly long day today. Usually my days aren't too busy, but today was just one of those days. So we might be battling through a little bit of weariness, a little bit of tiredness, but that's okay because I'm feeling good about feeling good. Honestly, I mean, our results haven't been out of this world or amazing or anything. They've been pretty okay to mediocre, but I am feeling good about making some good decisions and trying to play the best Magic I can. All right, right on, right on. We're up against a pretty cool streamer. His name's Y Principe. I've watched his stream quite a bit. Huge shout out to him. I think he's a fantastic player. But yeah, we're both showing Lurises. I'm pretty happy with this hand in any Luris deck. Kicking off with the Thoughtseize, we'll get Death Shadow going pretty quickly here. And if they're dealing any damage to themselves, we can potentially play out a Scourge of the Skyclaves as well. Let's see what our opponent's got in store for us. Ooh, they might be playing Burn here. Oh, they're playing Hammer Time. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm glad we have this Thoughtseize here, that's for sure. Cool, we got another land. That means we're guaranteed to get our Luris going. We're going to kick things off by bobbling our opponent. We see an Inspiring Vantage. I'm going to let that inform our Thoughtseize choice here. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Thoughtseize. Alright, so we see Double Hammer, Outfitter, and a Stoneforge Mystic. So, to me, when I see a hand like this, I see that they're going to have all the hammers in the world, right? They got 2 hammers in hand. They have instant speed way to equip it. So our best shot here, I think, is to try to answer the creatures. Opponent has a very strong hand. We might have some trouble fighting through this one, I'm not going to lie. I think we need to hit some removal spells. Given the Outfitter and the Sigarda's Aid is pretty redundant, I think it's pretty right here to take the Stoneforge Mystic. But like I said, they've got the hammers kind of locked down here. You know, if I take this one hammer, they got the other, and then they have the Stoneforge Mystic grab another. So yeah, so we're going to try to rip a removal spell for that core Outfitter. I'm going to draw again after they draw. And again, we're just looking for some more interaction here. Okay, they play out that advantage we saw on the top of their deck. Looks like they're going to run out the Outfitter. And it looks like their plan is just to kind of untap and throw some hammers on that guy. Guy or gal, or I'm not quite sure. Alright. It's actually really good information here to know what they're drawing into. Alright, another land. That's good for us. If we hit this removal spell, we're rocking and rolling. Okay, unfortunately we drew 4 lands in a row, so, not much you can do about that. So if I fetch Shock them at 12, I have a 1/1 Shadow. And then they can attack me. And so, okay, so whatever creature we're playing is just chump blocking. So let's go ahead and just play out a... I'm just going to fetch a basic Swamp, play out a Scourge. And then we unfortunately just have to chump block with the Scourge. The reason I'm playing the Scourge is, like, we're losing a creature no matter what here. And so my thought process was that, yeah, you know, I'm going to play the Scourge, and it's going to chump block. And so next turn, if I'm able to draw, like, a 2-drop that's interactive here, then I can Death Shadow plus have that interactive 2-drop. Alright, so unfortunately we just have to assign the block here. And the opponent is forced to hammer here because otherwise we'd kill their only creature. But yeah, I mean, we're just looking for Fatal Push. We hit Fatal Push, and I think we're good. Obviously, we're not good. They could still top deck lots of creatures, you know, etc., etc. But, yeah. Fatal Push, and I think we're back in the driver's seat. It was really unfortunate. I think this game was just that we top decked 4 lands in a row, and nothing you can do about that. Alright, Fatal Push, please. Wow, 5 lands in a row. So, I'm going to draw, and if we don't hit anything, I'll concede. Okay, that's a little late. That's unfortunate. Cool, so yeah, I don't know. Opponent had a sick hand, and we drew 4 lands in a row. I'm not gonna sweat about it or think about it too much. We're just going to bring in more interaction. That seems really good against them. More relevant interaction. We're going to bring in some Kozilek's Returns because they're liable to bring in Ariak Champion against us. We want an out to that. Let's see here. What can we take out? Proxa seems too slow to me. Battle Rage is good because we get to race. Dismember seems good as well. I like all of this interaction. Maybe it's not a Bomat Courier matchup because we're going to be playing a little bit slow. I'm sorry, playing a little bit fast, and so we're not going to have the time to grind it out with Bomat. Also, they play a lot of 1/2s, 2/2s, stuff like that, so maybe Bomat's not going to be able to get through for much damage. And then otherwise, Angraths can be good in certain spots. You know, we get to make them sack an artifact. I'm going to trim on a Thoughtseize. We're deciding to play a little more to the board. Seal of Fire is an interesting one. It could potentially be really good. Obviously, if we're facing down things like Ariak Champions, it's not going to be very good. But they do play a lot of small creatures, and if we can get to them before they get suited up, that can potentially be good there. Looks like our opponent's taking some time with their sideboarding. Maybe they have... sometimes I find actually combo decks to be really hard to sideboard sometimes because it's hard to know what to trim on, and you don't want to be gutting your own game plan in the process. And Hammer Time's a bit of a combo deck, so some, you know, like, oh, do I want to take too much away from my combo or what? So. This hand seems pretty cool. If they give us a target for this Dismember, it's pretty great. Yeah, I like this hand quite a bit. Sorry, I didn't speak out my ideas fully there. If they give us a target for Dismember, this is already 7 damage, and then that's going to be more damage there. So, actually, I'm glad I said that out loud, because this is 7 damage, meaning that I actually want to play the Sunbaked Canyon first, because it's more damage to us overall. Over the course of 2 turns, when you only have the 1 fetch land and the 1 canopy land. See if they have anything here. Alright, another turn 1 Cigar Disease, pretty good. We may have to Night Whispers here. Night's Whisper here. Okay, Thoughtseize, never mind. I was going to say, unless we draw Thoughtseize. I probably should have tapped that to deal ourselves a damage there at the end step. A little bit of a punt not to do that. So yeah, Firewalker, interesting. So it's pro-red. So they have no artifacts yet. So that's interesting. So yeah, we're going to try to get pro-red. We don't care about that as much. I'm gonna try to. Try to prevent them from double spelling. Their hand's very redundant, so there's not a lot to punch a hole into here. Sacred Foundry. I imagine they're just playing the core Firewalker, and if they do, I'll dismember it. Almost hit auto yield there. Whoops. Okay. It's just got pro red. Yep. All right. All right. We're just gonna dismember it. Play a shadow. And our plan here is to try to battle rage a shadow as quickly as we can. As of right now, he's at 16, which means we need an 8/8 shadow to kill him with the battle rage. Okay, so we're gonna bobble them. Another Sunbay Canyon. So unless they top decked exactly Path on their turn, then I'm feeling fairly safe here. Let's see, damage output. We're at 7. That makes this a 6/6. Effect shot, bolt ourselves will be plenty of damage. In fact, just fetching and shocking, or just bolting ourselves will do it with the battle rage. So let's hope that our opponent didn't top deck an answer for our Death Shadow in that one draw step that they had last turn when they tapped out for the core Firewalker. Spellskite, okay, cool. So Spellskite is a problem because it can redirect the Teamer Battle Rage. So we do need to draw an answer to the Spellskite. We know that their hand is Outfitter, Sunbay Canyon. Okay. So I'm just processing different options here. We want to hold up the bolt, but I guess holding up bolt doesn't do a lot because of the Spellskite. So what's our best option here? If I play a fetch land and I attack and they say no blocks, I can fetch shock to 9. If I battle rage it, then they redirect, and that costs them 2 life. That goes to 13. And if I bolt them, fetch shock to 9, I can make it a 10/10. I can bolt myself, but they would redirect. So if I made them redirect twice, they go to 11. 9, 10, and we'd be 1 off. So I could Thought Seize them. Just trying to figure out how do I force them into a block. Because I want to make it so that if I bolt and battle rage, and even if they pay 4 life to redirect, they still die. So if I'm saying that, then I'm saying that I need to go to 2 life. And I can do so by Thought Seizing down to 5, and then Fetch Shocking down to 2. So I think this may be an incorrect line. If you're watching this, I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I think I want to force double activation. I want to just make it so that they have to block with the core duelist. Because if they have to block with the core duelist... So now I go to combat. And if they say no blocks... If they say no blocks, they die. Fetch shock down to 2, battle rage down to 1, bolt them. And then they'll be forced to redirect, taking them to 11, and then Shadow's lethal. If they just block with the duelist, obviously I just say, okay, cool, so they just die. They said no blocks, okay. So now they have to redirect, right? And then I just send a bolt upstairs, and we're good. Awesome. Cool. Okie doke. So we saw Pro Red. Pose Electric Turn, of course, the big appeal is that it's colorless, so it's not affected by those kind of things. Thoughtseize is maybe just totally necessary on the draw. Hard to say. Seal of Fire still seems reasonable, especially they're playing that 1/1. Not Core Outfitter, but the one that gets double strike when it's equipped. It's tough though. Bolt and Seal of Fire effects are funny because they can be great like early, but once they get it equipped, then it's a dead draw, right? Because then they're equipped and they're really big, so these aren't going to do much. Maybe on the draw, just Swift Spear is just too much of a liability. We're like, we need interaction, and if we're on the draw, we're playing a Swift Spear and just pass. They might just untap and then create a board state that we can't beat with equipment. Alright, so interesting and fun and quick games too. No complaints so far. So I just said that thing about Swift Spear, but this is just such primo interaction that I think I'm going to keep. Depending on what they do on turn 1, I don't know if I play Swift Spear or not. But I think this is a keep. Most especially that if we draw a Death Shadow or a Scourge, this hand definitely goes from around like a 6 out of 10 to like a 10 out of 10. So I think my plan might have to be on the draw. Gosh, it's really unfortunate being on the draw here because I think my plan has to be on the draw to Inquisition first. And then turn 2, I play Swift Spear and Thoughtseize. I guess it depends how good their hand is. And maybe if they mull deep. Okay, so they didn't mulligan. Just concerning. If they have another turn 1 Sigarda's Aid, would be definitely unfortunate. But then I think I feel even more like I need Inquisition on turn 1 because it's just really scary when they have those starts. Alright, so he's had it all 3 games. That's pretty cool. And the bobble. Alright, bolts can be really good. Actually, really good here. Let's see if they fire off that bobble. So they bobbled us. They should have bobbled us on upkeep because this just happens. We just shuffle away whatever they just looked at. So we're definitely getting Inquisition first. Got to defend ourselves on the draw like this. Alright, interesting hand for sure. So their hand's really gummed up on mana and threats. Let's have faith that we can answer the threats. Again, look, they got Hammer and they have double Gift. Steel Shaper's Gift. Meaning we're not cutting them off of the equipment, but we can potentially cut them off of the threat. Let's see if they hit second land. They have a decent shot at it because you saw that they bobbled. That's why they kept the hand. You might think, oh, well, that was a sketchy keep, you know, they on a one-lander. But with bobble, it's almost like being on the draw there. Yeah, so they do hit. I guess we need to fade exactly... Okay, I was going to say we needed to fade the pro-red creature there. Because obviously our on-the-board disruption here does not answer a pro-red creature. This Outfitter? Okay, no, they're just firing. I mean, this makes sense. They're trying to use their mana now. And now we have an excellent opportunity to go Swift Spear and Thoughtseize. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to Thoughtseize here. Because if they do happen to have a creature, again, we want to take it. Obviously, if we Thoughtseize and only take a hammer, it feels a little bit like a waste, but I think that's okay. We really need to get a clock going. Obviously, we're going to Swift Spear, but I like Swift Spear Thoughtseize with the Prowess trigger. I think our best draw actually here might be like Bobble or Shadow / Scourge of the Skyclaves. In fact, if we hit a Scourge here, I might just tap out for Scourge. Okay, no Scourge. Alright, so let's get things rocking and rolling here. And we're just going to be fetching and shocking, thought seizing. They don't really get in chip shots. Usually if they hit you, you usually pretty much are dead. That's not always true, but it's true for the most part. So I think I'm fine just getting myself set up as best I can for a... get myself set up best I can for top deck threats. Alright, so we see that the unfortunate thing about our choice of Thoughtseize there is, they just have a very redundant hand. They have a Cigar Aid. They already got one on the battlefield, so there's no point in taking this one. So I'm just going to get a hammer. Alright, so they're going to put Luris into hand. And then next turn, we get to Bolt or K-Command that Luris. Although we might be putting Luris into our hand, depending on what we draw here. Dismember's interesting. I think we're just going to put Luris into our hand, though. I just want to have it here for certain top decks, and we are not preventing them from going Luris Bauble, because they get priority, right? They tap out for that Luris, they play the Bauble. Alright, now they've got it. I guess this doesn't play well if they hit exactly a creature, and then they immediately go and put a Colossus Hammer on it. Obviously, if they go here, if they hit land and they go land Colossus Hammer on the Luris, that's best case for us, because we got K-Command. But no, they just go ahead and do the Mistress Bauble. Alright, we're really hoping to hit a Shadow or a Scourge here. Would be best possible draw. Death Shadow would be best draw. Because then we get to dismember this, play Shadow. Ah, nice, a Scourge. Very nice. Alright, let's take care of this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Swamp. So now we are, I think, good against most things. I guess maybe there's a pro-red creature. Yeah, pro-red creature would get us if we don't hit a yeah, pro-red creature would get us. Poor Duelist, sure. This is fine. So Giver, that's fine too. Okay, so I need to slow myself down a bunch here because this is the turn where we win or lose. So, if I bolt something, they just flash in a hammer and equip it to something. So, I think what we do is we untap. So we can go like this. Now, I hope I'm not missing anything. I could be, but I hope I'm not. But I think I go Bolt the Giver. They flash in the hammer, equip it. We go K-Command, 2 damage here, blow up the hammer. The 3 damage has still been assigned to the Giver of Runes. It dies. These die. 2 prowess triggers, 3, 11. And we hit them down to dead because they have to tap this. So I think we have it here. So I'm going to go ahead and Bolt the Giver. Yep, hammer. Hammer goes on the Giver. The bolt still assigns damage to the Giver of Runes. Very good. And then destroy artifact. 2 damage here. And then that should be it. That should be Xaxes. So obviously top decking Scourge at the very best moment. Yeah, we got super lucky there to definitely get it, but yeah, I'm pretty much happy with all of our decisions here. All right, cool. GG's to Y Principe. I think he's a fantastic player and streamer. I wish him all the best. And we're going to go on to game 2. Or match 2, rather. We got a nice settling around over 1,000 players in our modern queue. Always very cool. Funny enough, I have a couple of friends that are playing right now. I don't know if I want to play against them, to be honest with you. It would be totally fine to play against the friends here. I just usually when I play against friends, then the jokes come out, and then it gets a little bit silly, and I'm just a little bit in a more of a serious mindset right now, but we'll see. All right, X Tajima. We'd love to take the play here. On the play in the dark, we're looking for a proactive hand that can apply a lot of pressure to our opponent. This one's close. It's a one-lander. If they're playing any creatures and we dismember it, then we get to play a Death Shadow even on 1 mana, right? Because it's 3, 5, 9. We're down to 11 life. We play a 2/2 Shadow. It's a pretty loaded up hand if they're playing creatures. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. If we hit a fetch land on turn 2, we just play this Death Shadow. Because 3, 5, then 8, we play a 1/1. We're going to mulligan, I think, because of the fail rates of this hand in the dark. This hand's okay. So this hand's definitely one of those, like, reactive... This is like a Jund hand. We do have a Scry with the Bauble. We do have Kroxa. We do have Luris to grab. Alright, we're going to keep this one maybe a little bit more for science. A bit contradicts what I was saying, but this hand has things going for it. It's not like if this hand fails, it falls apart. It's more like if this hand fails, then we're playing more of a grindy game. But, you know, maybe this is just... Maybe an experienced Rakdos player sees this hand and they go, this is a snap mulligan. Like, you need a hand that has more of a plays a more proactive game plan. And that could be reasonable. So we're up against a Karn the Great Creator. Okay, we're up against Tron, so we're definitely going to feel some... Oh, interesting. Okay, we're not up against Tron. Rain of Tears in the main deck. That's interesting. Let me reset my internet real quick. Okay. Just when the card art goes away, that's when I know. So, we're going to take the Utopia Sprawl. When they play the Arbor Elf, we get to Fatal Push it. Alright, they're on a very, very interesting brew. This looks like Golgari Ramp. Very interesting. Ooh, we get to go push Thoughtseize next turn. That's pretty exciting. So they got the Tomb. They got the Arbor Elf. Let's see what we draw into. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Well, that it just eats the Abrupt Decay. So we want to go ahead and push this. And then shock in. Thoughtseize our opponent. Now, they have the Abrupt Decay, which is unfortunate. Man, Rain of Tears in the main is so funny to me. We're going to try to gamble. Are we going to try to gamble? Because it's... Yeah, because if we take the Inquisition, it's like if they never... Okay, well, let me explain my thoughts. That's a really... I think that's a really quick concession from our opponent. If we take the Inquisition here... And then we play out the Scourge. There's a chance they just never draw the land, and then we just kill them with the Scourge. I guess Abrupt Decaying the Scourge is not that bad. I get to Croak. So if I flood out on lands, I can just put a Luris. And if I flood out on lands, I just have Rain of Tears. All right, interesting. So, against a Karn, it looks like to me black-green, like Ponza with a Karn package. I think I like Kullagan's Command. Since they have Karn, they're probably grabbing some artifacts maybe we don't have outs to. So Kullagan's Command and Angrass Rampage is good here. I'm going to cut on the Battle Rages because it looks like they're playing black-based interaction, Fatal Pushes, Abrupt Decay. I didn't see Fatal Push, but I'm assuming. Abrupt Decay, stuff like that. Night's Whisper seems really good in this kind of a matchup. They're playing little, well, maybe, actually, Bomat might be good here. I guess it gets shut off by Karn the Great Creator. That's a thing. Seal of Fire is good for the turn 1 dorks. I don't know if Wildfire is something. No. I mean, we would Wildfire the things they put the Utopia Sprawl on, but that seems like a pretty passive and weak plan, especially on the draw. Yeah, let's go Light Touch here. We're going to just take out the Battle Rages because of black-based interaction. Just trim on a Bomat Courier and bring in answers to potential hateful artifacts that we can't deal with. And then let's click Submit. I like this. Alright, we're going to show them we play Luris. Ooh. This hand is very tempting. If I had a guarantee there was lands on the top of my deck, I would snap keep this, obviously. I'm reluctant because they play all that land destruction. And we could just get completely shut out of the game. That being said, we have the potential to dismember a mana dork and play a giant shadow early in the game. This hand's really similar to the first hand we had. They just snap kept with 7. It's really bad reasoning to say we have a game to give because I don't want to play like that. Man, this hand's fire if we hit lands. I'm so tempted. Alright, let's keep it. YOLO. I think if they play a mana dork, we have to dismember it. Because then, if we thought seize them... Oh, they're going to thought seize us? That's fine. We'll take that. Interesting deck. It looks like it has some tensions here. Namely, like, there's Utopia Sprawl, Mana Dorks, and then also Thoughtseize and Inquisition. So it's like, oh, how do I do my turn 1, you know? If they take a Thoughtseize, it tells me they have maybe ways to blow up our 1 land here. I actually think the take is just Thoughtseize, because they can potentially play around most of our hand. Like, if I don't hit lands, then I'm not playing these shadows out. In fact, if they take the Thoughtseize, barring us top decking like another Thoughtseize, we're just going to play March Flats Go and try to leave this uncracked for as long as we can, because if they're playing... Okay, that's interesting. So we're just going to fetch up Thoughtseize. Anyway, if you just play a fetch land and pass, then you can potentially play around land destruction spells. Oh wow, we're so lucky. Okay, so we got rewarded for the greedy keep, because now, especially if we just roll out a bunch of lands, we can just lure us, buy back that shadow eventually. But yeah, let's Thoughtseize them. They're playing the color green, so there's a decent shot that they have Veil Summers in their deck, so why don't we get this Thoughtseize out of the way when we can. Okay, very cool. We're going to take a Utopia Sprawl. They just have mana in hand. That makes sense why they took a threat instead of a Thoughtseize. They said, our hand's really Thoughtseize proof, and it is. But we did not take an Arbor Elf because we are just planning on... We've got all the hate for the Arbor Elves here. I wonder if they go Arbor Elf, I wonder if we're supposed to just dismember push. Okay, they don't. They just go Utopia Sprawl here. Alright, they're going to pass. Alright, another fetch land. Very whitelisted. Seal of Fire, interesting. So I think all we're going to do is this and pass. We know they have double Arbor Elf in hand. Obviously, they don't want to play out the Arbor Elves because of all of our spot removal here. If they do nothing with their turn, then we're going to Seal of Fire ourselves to play out a shadow. So we know their hand is Arbor Elf, Unknown. Do they have a 4-drop to play? This we'll see. Alright, Arbor Elf. So even if they have Veil of Summer here, it's fine because we're just going to dismember to take that damage. Sorry, the taking of the damage is the relevant part. So all we get to do here is just Seal of Fire one of these guys, and then dismember the other. Untap, fetch land. Okay, Silent Clearing, that's pretty good. Alright, we're going to play out a Death Shadow. So we have our threat. They have 1 card. They're drawing up to 2. Don't really know what to expect from them, from their deck. It feels like it could be just about anything dropping here. But, you know, yeah, maybe, or maybe they just flood. They're kind of a ramp deck. so they have the potential to flood. I mean, we're presenting a huge clock here. So... if their last card's a removal spell, then we just get to load Lurrus into hand, which is nice. Alright, they're fetching, which tells me maybe they have a bigger, like a bigger converted mana cost card to play. Alright. Oh my god, yes! Yes! I love this card! Oh my god. My opponent is a hero. I love this card. Alright, so I think we're going to empty out our hand here. We're going to bolt the Garrick. It really feels bad to do that. And then if we draw a blank, we're just going to load Lurrus into hand. Scourge of the Skyclaves would be really cool. Ingress Rampage is really nice insurance against a lot of the potential top decks their kind of a deck could have. And now we're presenting lethal because we're swinging for 6 here, and then we're going to be swinging for 7 next turn. So they need a top deck. They've got 2 draws. Their draw step and then the Peatland redraw. I'm so happy they played a Garrick Relentless. I mean, it's unfortunate that it was really bad there. It just ate, you know, removal spell, but genuinely a card so close to my heart. Garrick Relentless. So yeah, so if they do something like Karn, grab an artifact, that's really problematic. We just have Ingress Rampage. Nissa, sure. So it becomes haste, still a land, return a card. So they're just dead, I believe. Yeah, they can hit us. Does it stop being a land? Until your next turn. Okay, so they're just going to do this and pass. We have the Ingress Rampage, so... unfortunate for our opponent here, because their deck is very cool. Green-Black Walkers is a really cool, unexplored archetype. Okay, target player sacrifices a creature, and then I think we've got him. This is a creature, right? Yep, basic land creature, and it's their only creature. Everything you needed, I guess. I'll just tell opponent seems a little salty. I'll tell them their deck was sweet. If that makes them more pissed, whatever, you know. Alright, starting off strong with a 2-0, that always feels good. Means that I only have to win one more match to meet my personal goal. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't tell you the hundreds of times I've been 2-0 in a league and gone 2-3, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to focus on our good decision-making throughout. Alright, MTG Flex. And we win another die roll. That's insane. Alright, Lurrus is our companion. This hand is great. This is one of those hands that's really aggressive in the dark on the play. We get to deal them damage, so that turns on our Scourge. I think we're just going to get rocking and rolling with the Bowmat Courier, because we want to start building up a nice collection. We also want to hit with the Bowmat before they potentially are playing small creatures to block. Alright, go Bowmat Courier. And we really see why a deck like Rakdos Shadow or Rakdos Scourge is able to leverage the card Scourge of the Skyclaves, because we get to play haste creatures that deal damage. I'm going to play around them having a Lightning Bolt here. I don't want this to just die to a Bolt, so I'm just going to play double Swift Spear, and we're going to swing in for 3 with all of our creatures. If they're on some kind of like blue-red control deck, obviously... we're opening up ourselves to things like Sweepers, Wrath of God, stuff like that. Not Wrath of God, excuse me, Anger of the Gods, rather. But that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but it's better. I'm more of afraid... okay, we up against a pile deck? Or a control deck of some kind? Alright. So now we're up against a control deck. So we got to think about our turns carefully, because if they go for that Bowmat Courier, we got to think about, like, you know, am I willing to crack it? So I'm going to go ahead and play out this Scourge. We're the ones with the higher life total. Obviously, if they have the card... Okay, so a couple things here about playing this pre-combat. One, if they go to, like, Mana Leak this, then okay, sure, we just attack with our dudes. Second, I'm going to play the Scourge. We have fetch land to lower. They just concede to that. Weird league, guys. Weird league. So what I was going to say is that we can fetch Shock to help protect, right? The Scourge here. Additionally, when we have a Bomat Courier rocking and rolling against a control deck, you want to empty your hand as quickly as you can so that you can reload with the Courier. But they conceded, which is really strange. So, against Rogrin Triome, they only played a... what you call it? Not a Steam Vents, a Scalding Tarn, I'm sorry. A Scalding Tarn, a Flooded Strand, and a Rogrin Triome, and they conceded. So I'm assuming that Croxa is going to play a role against some kind of control pile-ish deck here. I don't really know if I want to... I mean, I feel like it's free to cut up Temur Battle Rage against a control deck. Seal of Fire probably is not where we want to be. We probably want Angrass Rampage to nab Planeswalkers out of them. If all their removal is exile based, like they're just playing like, you know, Path to Exile, Celestial Purge, then Kolaghan's Command goes down a little bit in my mind because then the Raised Dead ability is not there. But maybe they play Stoneforge Mystic and then we're kind of hedging for that. That seems like fine, and we just cut a Fatal Push. The only thing we want on our radar for these Fatal Pushes are things like Omnath. Or if they're playing something like what I was just mentioning, which was they're playing a Stoneforge build. But I don't know if Rogrin Triome plays Stoneforge Mystic. So this is a really sweet hand. The Jund player in me wants to keep it, but I think we have to mulligan a hand that has no threats against a control deck. If we can get the control deck to... Okay, this hand's fantastic. Nice. We're just going to bottom this Fatal Push, I think. Yeah, because Bolt would answer a Stoneforge Mystic as well. I find that sometimes, not always, control decks are a little different now, but sometimes just slamming threats at the control player's face just over and over and over again relentlessly sometimes gets you there. As we saw when I was playing the Jund Shadow deck not too long ago, or 2 days ago, that deck just had just a ton of threats, so you can just exhaust your opponent's removal until they just kind of give up. Also, obviously, Croxa here is pretty nice. Looks like they probably have Bolt here. Cool. So I feel rewarded in the last game to have played around Bolt when we played out our Scourge of the Skyclaves. Seachrome Coast makes me think they're definitely on maybe a Stoneforge build of some type. Alright, we're just going to run out another threat, and we just kind of get to play this game for a while. Until they play something proactive, and then we get scared. Basically is how this game goes. Alright, we're going to see a Teferi Time Raveler, perhaps? Nope. We're just going to untap here. I think we're in no rush yet. Alright, Thoughtseize is actually sweet. If they have something like Spell Queller, this Thoughtseize and Bolts really help play around it. Alright. Jeskai Flash or something? That would be pretty cool. Snapcaster. Okay, sure. Yep, Snap Bolt. Fair enough. We're probably just going to point a bolt down here now. And we don't have Lava Dart or anything like that, so we can't save the Swift Spear, unfortunately. And we're going to discover a little more about their deck. We can play around Mana Leak for sure. We want to take that to Fairy. And before we let them untap with the Mana Leak, we're going to go ahead and bolt that Snapcaster range. Alright, so hopefully our resource depletion will continue. A fetch land would be fantastic here. Okay, that's fine. So we know about the Mana Leak, so we're just going to run out the Croxa. Things can definitely turn from here. If we're not hitting land drops to put Lurrus into hand or to develop this Croxa, we could be in trouble here. They have a creature to flash in, like a Shark Typhoon cycle? Okay, yeah. Alright, race is on, opponent. Race is on. We do have a bolt for this, fortunately. This will help our Death Shadow grow out of bolt range now. They certainly could be just holding up permission, though. Okay, another land drop. Fantastic. That builds us up towards the Kroxa. Alright. I'm going to wait on the bolt here. See what they do. Wow, this attack is very aggressive. We're going to go for the bolt now, I think. Okay, they just let it go. That attack tells me they, you know, they got snap bolts. Maybe they're just like classic Jeskai. Okay, Jace. If they just bounce, we get to go Rampage, and then, oh man, that's so good for us. All right, we're going to be a little mindful of our life total, though. I think that's how, honestly, how we're going to lose this game if we do. Is they're just going to have a flurry of, like, maybe some crazy, like, Helix, Electrolyze, something like that. So, yeah, we're just going to play Shadow. Sacrifice a Planeswalker, please. Oops, want to make sure I picked the right one. Alrighty, opponent. It's been a fun one either way. Our opponent's playing at a quick clip. Oh, there's the Stoneforge. Very nice, opponent. Very nice. Sort of Fire and Ice. Cool. I was going to say land is actually not terrible here. Very nice. So now... Alright, quick maths for us here. We Kroxa, we're down to 5. 3, and then they hit us for 5. Yeah, so we're dead to a land drop from them. We're dead to a land drop. But are we doing anything else that's meaningful? Let me just reflect for a moment. Excuse me. I could crack the Sunbait Canyon, digging for something here. Digging for a fatal push. So let's say our opponent doesn't hit that land. Okay, let's just go for it. I really don't like cracking Sunbait Canyon. Oh, I completely spaced that. We're not grabbing. Okay, does this change anything? We'd go to 4, we go to 3. It wouldn't, right? Yeah, it wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't change anything. If they hit the land, we were dead at the other life total anyway. Alright. It's a little bit balls to the wall. It's a little bit greedy. But as my good friend Alex says, greed OP. So yeah, this just says... Oh, that happens too. We're not playing around Bolt. Okay, fair enough. Alright, good games, opponent. Good games. Yeah, we didn't play around Bolt there. Let's see, if we had drawn the card, we hit a Death Shadow. This only has pro-black red. Okay, alright. Fair enough, fair enough. Scourge, okay, sure. Alright, I'm feeling good about this one on the play, though. We definitely got greedy there, that's for sure. So they're just Jeskai Stoneblade, which is sweet. I like our configuration, though. Yeah, we're just going to submit. So, obviously we're looking for a hand with a lot of early hand disruption, I think. I don't know. We have both us and our opponent have some good things going in our favor here. You could argue to bring it back in the fatal pushes, because we kind of died to that Stoneforge Mystic, but, you know. I think I'm going to keep this one. We can go turn 1, Swift Spear. If they play out a creature... sure, which they wouldn't on turn 1, but we got some good options here. We got some good options. Okay, Triumph tapped. Fetch lands? Okay. Not bad. Still gonna go clearing. Let's hope they have a Stoneforge Mystic that we're gonna... Oh, 2 Stoneforge Mystics. I think we take Teffers. Our plan is to dismember one of them. That will take us down to 15, 13, 11. Cool. We might be able just to get them, tempo them out here. Yeah, we're hoping to win the game before that Batter Skull becomes relevant. Obviously, if they top deck a bunch of removal spells, we're in trouble for sure. Okay, fetch land, nice. Thoughtseize. Okay. I just take this. We're really sweating. Top deck removal spell from them. Because we are just playing this one a million miles an hour. We're going to fetch shocks. We play around Bolt on the Death Shadow. Flooded Strand, sure. Bomat Courier's not bad. Yeah, we're going to shock. So we can draw off the clearing if we really need to. 6, 7, 8 damage to our opponent's face. Very cool. Alright, so we get punished by this if they have like somehow they have like a little flurry of damage spells or something. Maybe not now that they just untapped though. Bolt there, sure. Shock this in, snap bolt here. So we're going to draw off the clearing first. I think if we just hit a removal spell for this Snapcaster, we've got it. We got it. Alright, cool. Sure. Alright. Let's bolt now. So we don't go to blocks. That should do it. Heck yeah, let's go. 3-0. Strong performance from this Rakdos Shadow deck. And very notably, like, just, I'll be honest with you guys, a lot easier to pilot than, like, Grixis Shadow. It's so funny to observe that difference. Excuse me. Grixis Shadow at the beginning of this week, if you guys remember, was just the wheels came off, kind of a league for me. So, but yeah, that feels great. Oh man, I definitely can breathe a little bit. Sigh big relief here. I've hit my goal for this league, and now I'm hoping that mentally I can just even focus more on making good decisions here. For match 4 and 5. Okay, I recognize that name. I think I've played against this individual before. I could be making this up in my brain, but I think they were on Heliod, which could potentially be scary. Okay, so this hand's really, really close. It's a mulligan, but I just want to point out some things. If this was double fetch land, we might be tempted. If this was not both our basics, but like a Thoughtseize, I'd definitely be tempted, but no way to turn on the shadows. No way to exploit the Lurrus as of right now, so we're just going to mulligan. Okay. We keep this. We can Seal of Fire them if need be to turn on the Scourge of the Skyclaves. Death Shadow's doesn't seem like it's going to be turned on very quickly here. Potentially their opponent's doing something where we can just land a Scourge and then Battle Rage it. Because that 1-2 punch is pretty good. Ooh. Okay, this feels like it's going to be a more challenging matchup for sure. You know, Taxes has a lot of access. I'm guessing it's Taxes off Plains Ether Vial. Taxes has access to a lot of ways to really hate on us. Skyclave Apparition being a big one. So we're going to take this Apparition here. Also, notably, they have not dealt any damage to themselves, and they won't be. Yep. So, yeah, this might be our reckoning as the Taxes deck. Makes sense. They're obviously hands that we have where we just really, really get up on them in tempo and everything, but they have access to a lot of really good tools. Okay, Bobble's fine. I think we're just going to cash in the Seal of Fire right away. We'd rather not have to face down a Batterskull this soon. Actually, I need a Bobble on my turn, because if I draw into a Dismember, I'd want to cast that, most likely. Okay. Giver of Runes? Givers? Yeah. Well, so they've already going to set up the Giver Archon of Emeria lock, which is a really, really good one. So, we'll see what we draw. Okay. Alright, look at that. That worked out. Here comes the Archon. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this Giver here. Fetch land, please. Wow. Oh, so like, yes, play Scourge, and then I was like, oh wait, they're at 20 life still. Ooh, I should have kept the Shadow, not the Scourge. I got greedy, y'all. I got very greedy there. Got very, very greedy. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, obviously their next one is a Strip Mine, so that's scary. Okay, I can fetch here, because their Vial's not on 2. We're not worried about a Leonin Arbiter. Okay, we got some scary stuff coming down the pipeline against us here. Oh, hello, my friend. Welcome to the party. You are always welcome, Mr. Death Shadow. Why didn't they put in Flicker Wisp on their end step? They could have blinked my Shadow. Okay. Fair enough, opponent, fair enough. Right, we're going to float a red. They know our deck. They know we only got 2 lands. They know what's up. Oh, no, that's smart. They're saving their Flicker Wisp for a time where they can kind of get us. Alright, fair enough. Stoneforge Mystic. We can even attack, and they can even do fun stuff like block with Stoneforge. Put in Flicker Wisp, I can't even talk right now. Flicker the Stoneforge Mystic. I think this is going to probably do it for us. Fun game, though. I mean, I kind of have a little bit of a soft spot for Death and Taxes. I think it's a sweet deck. You know, I mean, like, there's a lot of people who dislike it or say, oh, it's a cheesy deck, you know, it cheeses out wins, but, I mean, this is kind of a cool deck. I mean, it's like mono-white mid-range, right? Yeah, so they're just going to do that play I was talking about. Very cool. I don't know, I think mono-white mid-range is pretty neat. Like, it's cool that the color, like, can allow for that, you know? Alright, same reasoning. We're going to want to draw a removal spell on our own turn. They're drawing into a Plains, sure. Oh no, I should have done that after they searched for the Stoneforge, so they're not drawing a Plains. That was a mistake on my part. But yeah, I think it's cool. Like, I don't know. Like, mono-white should be able to play a mid-range deck, right? It's kind of cool. Alright, that was not what we were looking for. If we were really lucky, it'd be a Bolt. So we could bolt this guy out of the sky. But if they go, let's see, what could they do here? If they go Maul, oh, okay, yeah, that'll get us pretty good. Because then it'll lock us out of Temur Battle Rage. Yeah, I'm going to pack it in. GG's opponent. I think we were bested for sure. All right, going into the sideboard, we do have a lot of really good tools. I don't like Kroxa against them because they play a lot of Grave Hate. A lot of derps on the ground. Bomat Courier feels ambitious. Let's see what else. The hand disruption's weird. Okay, against their non-vial hands, it's so good. Alright, now we're going to keep it all on the play because we want to nab that Ether Vial. Ether Vial is really what makes their deck hum. Nice Whisper also feels a little bit ambitious. But we have some haymakers for our opponent here. We've got some good ones. And then trim on. I'm happy to. Actually definitely want to trim a Scourge because Scourge can be a big liability. I want everything else. Yeah, let's trim a Battle Rage. Sometimes they have fun ways to blow you out and have the Battle Rage. Cool. All right, I think we're bringing in some nice tools to help us fight them back on the play here. They have turn 1 Ether Vial. Alright, we'll keep. If they have Giver of Runes, we got this. If they have turn 1 Ether Vial, we got this. I guess I should be thinking about how I'm not turning on any of my threats with this hand, so maybe it's a mulligan. Definitely, there's that. Yeah. So maybe this is a bit of a sketcher. Okay. So we'll just untap. I think we have to take care of that Ether Vial, and then we get to work on our opponent's hand. So we're shocking down to 13, going to 11. So cool, we get a Shadow next turn. That's really nice. If they play a 2-drop, we get to bolt it. If it's Thalia, it's kind of a bummer. Ariok Champion. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, another reason why Scourge is such a liability here in this matchup. But let's kick things off with a Thoughtseize. Ooh, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Gideon is so sweet. I love that card. Alright, we have an answer for Flickerless. I think we have to take this Gideon here. Let's get our fetching out of the way, because they play Leon and Arbiter. Cool. Yeah, Ariok Champion, so good against us. We kind of like have to top deck Angrass Rampage and hope that it's their only creature on the battlefield at that time. Or we have to top deck one of our 3 Kozilek's Returns. Okay, fair. They're flicking our Shadow. Sure, I'll just bolt. Are they going to attack us? No. They just want an extra life gain to... Yeah, maybe it's worth cutting all the Scourges. Alright, Bomat's actually not that bad, because they're never blocking this Bomat, I mean, right? If they block this Bomat, that's so good for us. Yeah, they're not blocking Bomat. Alright, Luris to the rescue. I mean, not really rescuing us from much. I think we're in a bad spot for the most part here. Oh wow, they're drawing a card. Wow. Okay, interesting. Maybe they needing to hit something? I'm not sure. Cool, so we just get to play land, play out this Luris here. Kraken with the Bomat. And if we sack the Bomat, we're not too unhappy about it because we've got Mr. Scourge here, and we're fine with discarding him against this Ariok Champion. I'm letting this happen. Yeah. Because... Oh, do they have path here? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say, I just get to recast the bone match. Cool. Pastor. If they have second React champion, obviously that's unfortunate. Short of Fire Nest. Oh, wow. Oh, man, did we get a land of Scourge? Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are only fetchable lands, right? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I was like, can I kick this? But, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to hit him, play a Scourge. Oh, wow, opponent's bricking. Batterskull, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Alright, we need an answer to that. Oh yeah, that ain't gonna do it. Now our Scourge dies. Yeah. Yeah, we're probably dead here. Very nice opponent, very nice. Yeah, we just attack, right? Because if they block this, we kill our Scourge, but then they don't have, they have to pop it back to hand and then replay it. And then if they take it, they're down to 12. So yeah, this is, it's not okay, but I think it's buying us time. Because if they take it, right, well, if they take, I think they should take it, just equip this with the Fire and Ice and just kill us, right? I don't think they should take, I don't think they should block. But I guess one thought here is that if they don't block, then Scourge will survive. Weird spot. Weird, interesting spot. So if they block, they kill Scourge. If they don't block, Scourge stays alive, but then they have a body to attach the sort of... Yeah, okay. Interesting decision here. So if they equip this is just pro red and blue, right? Yeah, I think I'm blocking with Scourge here. I don't want them to draw a card. Scourge will die, sure, but then they'll lose a body to have things attached to here. Have a good follow-up. Thalia. Okay, fair enough. Alright, we have top decks for sure. Not exactly a top deck here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will become a 6, 7, and they'll hit us. What are they drawing into? What are we drawing into? Kozilek's Return. Whoa! That's a good one. So we have the 4 mana to cast it, so we get an attack here. Wow! What a lucky draw! So if they go to equip, we just blow them out, and then we win the game. Maybe win the game. We'll see. What an insane draw. Wow. Wow. Explosions! And they just scooped that. Whew. All right, that was really fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that again on the play, or on the draw, rather. Bowman Curry was kind of sweet. Man, it was better than a Scourge, wasn't it? Alright. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, Death and Taxes. Give us your worst. I think we keep these. Yeah. We've got all the answers. We got answers to almost everything we can face up against, as long, given we hit the 3rd land. Alright, yeah, sure. We're just going to push that. No, I want to bolt it so I can take more damage off this Sunday Canyon. Monkey brain processing things right now. I guess we can Canyon Pass. I should have fetched. Leonin Arbiter? Punish me? Okay, no. Alright, now we definitely want to fetch here. We're just going to fetch main face. And pass. Actually, I should have waited. They don't have Ether Vial, and if they put in a 3-drop, then we can't Fatal Push it now. Alright, things are looking up. Things are looking up. No attacks from our opponent. That thing needs to die. Alright, opponent. We are going to go shields down for a turn. By playing 2 Death Shadows. If we get to untap, we get to Kozilek's Return and slam in for a lot of damage. Of course, we're kind of... I mean, we're not really shields downing for anything big relevant here. Oh boy, this Kozilek's Return. Oh boy. Oh, I needed to... Alright, I need to slow down. I was getting so excited there. Okay, now we're going to save this for Revolt. I'm going to cast a Kozilek's Return. Yeah, these Cozy's returns have been just nutty. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, well met, opponent, well met. What's your last card? Giver Runes? Okay. I'm just gonna untap. Put Luris into hand, yep. Great games from our opponent here. We've had some epic back and forths. Guess we kill this. I was like, Restoration Angel? They most likely drew another removal spell. In that case, I'm going to go with my gut and say they have a... nice play, opponent. Nice play, nice play. That was sick. Nice play. I love that. That was nice. Yeah, I should have been a little more thoughtful about that. Unfortunate, we're not going to get any value out of this Luris, but we need to put pressure on the board. And we'll show them. We don't have much else going on. Opponent, what do you have going on? Batterskull's a really good one. Alright, Kolaghan's command once. One time deck, one time. K command? That's not a K command. Alright, well, we needed to draw action there. We flooded out pretty bad, right? Like, we natty drew the basic swamp, so... this is... I mean, if they have a removal spell, this is not a free block, but, you know, it's kind of a free block. Alright, cool. Yeah. Sure. Okay. So, if we Fatal Push this now, doesn't really accomplish much, does it? Yeah, because then they just pop it back to hand, then just recast it next turn, or this turn here. We're just going to take this block again. Excuse me. Alright, and then on the end step here, we'll go ahead and push it. Something good. It's not exactly something good. What do you got, opponent? Yep, makes sense. Alright, we're going to gain a little bit of life back here. Right. Just pop it back to hand. Up to 9. Ooh. So there's that Plains we knew about. Batter Skull. Sure. Alright, we still got to draw to that Kolaghan's Command or that, not that. Okay, we'll just pass. We need Kolaghan's Command or Angrass Rampage. That's what I was trying to think of. Man, they're just like any top deck away from just totally getting us here, though. And that was unfortunate because now they just can any K command. They just pop this back to hand. But I guess we have Thoughtseize. So they all. Ooh, I wonder if they were supposed to. Boop, boop. But no, they want to be able to pop this back to hand. Oh, these lands. All these lands. Lands are killing us. Top deck quite a few of them. Yeah, I mean, obviously our opponent is too. Now they just have a big, scary Ariak champion that kills us in 2 turns here. Alright, we got one last turn. Drum roll. You are 1 turn too late! You were the chosen one. Alright, GG's to the opponent. Really fun game, super close. It looks like because our opponent flooded so bad there as well, we were just 1 top deck away from really just slamming this home. So yeah, unfortunate, but, you know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys have a different opinion, but I'm pretty sure those white decks, the Death and Taxes decks, kind of build their decks to beat up on decks like ours, right? In fact, I know that, what's his name? Michael Rapp, who's another big, prominent Shadow player, is advocating to play Jund Shadow over Rakdos Shadow right now because for that exact reason, because a Tarmogoyf can block a Auriok champion. And we saw that come up in our Jund Shadow League. We won the last match against a Heliod deck, but a lot of their pro red and black creatures were not good because we just had huge Tarmogoyfs and Hex Drinkers. So that's like a big thing, I think, there to consider. Adding green to your Rakdos build, make it Jund Shadow. And then you have some inbuilt protection against the pro black and red creatures. And then also on top of that, you get to play the best shard in all of Magic, which is Jund. Alright, final match here. On the draw, 1 lander. So, obviously, if we're up against, like, a Tron or, like, elves or humans or something, this hand's really bad. If they're on, like, a more control-y kind of thing, then this hand's pretty good, because we just get to do the slam threats, and then we can even blank on lands for a little bit. If they're playing a Path to Exile deck, maybe they give us that second lands. I think this is a mulligan. I think it needs something more to be a good 1-lander. This hand's fabulous. This is great. Oh no, but now I gotta bottom a card. I think we have to bottom a... that's probably right, just a bottom Thoughtseize to hedge here. Yep. Alright, interesting stuff. Let's see what our opponent's on. Oh no, they were on Tron! No, wait, I want to get rid of the Fatal Push. Wait, hold on. Okay, well, let's kick things off with a Thoughtseize. Normally I like to Swift Spear first, but with a Spear start, Power Plant Sphere, we need to be able to take away Sylvan Scrying if they are reliant on that. Ancient Stirrings and a Mine. So we're just going to take the Ancient Stirrings here. And then, yeah. Oh no, I want my other Thoughtseize deck. I regret all of my decisions. Star, mine, crack star. Let's see, they had a couple draw steps there to hit another green. No, they do not. Okay. Yeah, we can fetch shock. We can Swift Spear Shadow here, so that's something. I want my Thoughtseize back, deck. I regret all of my choices. Alright, so let's see what our opponent has. Oh, they have the Natty Tron. Oh, wonderful. I'll probably just pack it in. You know what? If there was no luck in Magic, we wouldn't even have Tron players, right? Am I right? Am I right? Okay. If we can just fetch out to 4, we can bolt ourselves. It'll trade. We can push one of the tokens, but then they just have Oblivion Stone. Okay, we're just. I think we've seen enough. We've seen enough. Good day to you, sir. Alright, so these are the immediate ones that you're looking to cut in this match. Otherwise, everything else, just being really aggressive and assertive there, is pretty sweet. Obviously, we want Wildfire, we want these, we want these, we want these. We got a couple more things to cut. Oh, Seal of Fire, get out of here. Get out of here, Seal of Fire. I'm gonna trim on a bolt, but the reach is nice. You just want to be really aggressive. Okay, so maybe Bomat Courier is not aggressive enough. Yeah. Cool. Looking good to me. Alright, let's mess him up. Let's get that old Tronsky on the play. Also, they kept 7. It's always you always feel like you're getting cheated when your Tron opponent keeps a 7 and it's a good hand. So no disruption. No disruption. I think we have to mull. They begin with 7 again? That's not fair, opponent. You're not allowed to do that. It's crazy I want to keep this hand, but... yeah. I'm just thinking about, like, the whole Scourge. If your opponent's at 15, you're at 10, and you Scourge with Tournament Battle Rage, it's lethal. I went to mull again. Oh, thanks, MTGO. Alright, well, no threat, but... no threat. Alright, whatever. Eh, do be like that, though. I don't think those... the 7 and 6 were keepable. Maybe they were, but... a Relic of Progenitus. Why you gotta be so rude, opponent? Keeping 7-card hands both games with Tron and then just top decking a Relic? Opponent is literally the rudest human ever. Power plant, tower, Sylvan Scrying, Chromatic Sphere. So we gotta take that Sylvan Scrying. And we know they're full hand. What do we need? We need them to brick really hard. That's tough when they're in the position they're in. Relic of Progenitus. Alright. I don't think... yeah, I think they only have that 1/1 drop in hand. Alright. We're looking pretty dead. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, not a second relic. Alright, honestly, we're going to do this for the redraw. More than anything else. Thoughtseize is okay. We know 3 of their cards. We gave them that forest off of our... And they have another forest in hand. Alright, whatever. Veil Summer? Map? Heck yeah. I mean, we're just gonna Thoughtseize you to death on it. Oh no, I'm being dumb. They played the tower for sure. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Death Shadow. Let's top deck a Death Shadow. Come on, Death Shadow. Okay, it's a clock. We'll take it. It's only turn 5, and it's a 1-2. I think we can beat those other 2 cards, but we're not beating a Wormcoil. Surprised they didn't just play out the Oath Stone. I guess they want to cycle Wilt. I guess that makes sense. No, that makes sense. We didn't have anything on the board anyway. Alright, let's get that Oath Stone out of hand. Ooh, no Oath Stone. Okay. Scourge of the Skyclaves? Thoughtseize. Well, that's kind of cool. We just get to take this Oath Stone. If they... This might tell us if they play... Okay, no. I was going to say, if they crack in response, it maybe would tell us if they're playing Veil Summer in the deck. Not that I think it's going to be terribly relevant here. Sure. We'll just pass. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, that's a card. We obviously don't want to play it here. Why couldn't you have been Cleansing Wildfire? It's very rude. Alright, drawing cards. Drawing lots of cards. Oh my goodness. How are we still in this game? Opponent's been through a lot of their deck already. 23 cards. Scrying, sure. Alright, Cleansing Wildfire? It's not a Cleansing Wildfire. Alright. I believe we are what the kids call dead. Sure. Oh, just grab Sanctum of Ugin? Oh no, another tower? Sure. I feel like you already have the mana. Maybe you can afford to grab Sanctum? I don't know. Alright, where are they going with this one? Alright. Take my Luris. Take him. I didn't even want him anywhere. Sack your Planeswalker, good sir. The little monastery Swiss spear that could. Okay. Certainly this grabs Sanctum of Ugin now, right? No, it doesn't. Wormcoil. Alright. Now, what are our outs? Not that. Okay. Well, that was fun. We put up a heck of a fight. We made it to turn 10 somehow? Okay, cool. Alright, we have to settle for the 3-2. I mean, we made it a really close game against Death and Taxes, for sure. And then we we made it a really dang close game, and we had some sick top decks too, like that Kozilek's Return there was really awesome. And then against Tron, you know, we kind of got Tron game one. It happens. They kept 7 with a really good Tron hand, and then top decked into Tron a couple turns later. And then that last game we mulliganed to 7. Sorry, mulliganed to 4. So not seeing too many things we could have done different. Maybe there were some things we could have done different in the Death and Taxes game. I'm not sure. Either way, honestly, a really fun league. I'm more than pleased with the 3-2 and with the way that league felt. Given that we lost to Tron on getting Tron and mulligan to Oblivion, and then we put up a heck of a fight against Death and Taxes, it makes me feel that this is a really strong deck. You know, no surprise, it was top dog in the meta not too long ago, and arguably maybe it's still pretty good. But yeah, really fun league. Got to play some good games, and thank you all for everyone who's watching, and I will see everyone tomorrow.